Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel for another LEGO Star Wars build. Today is of course May 5th, so Revenge of the 5th. I hope you had a great May the 4th, or May the 4th be with you. This is of course part 2 of Star Wars Day, or Star Wars Days I should say. So I decided to grab a set that I've had on the shelf for a long time. This is the Duel of Mandalore, essentially Darth Maul versus Ashoka in the throne room. This is a very small set, but it's definitely a really good example of my favorite LEGO sets from Star Wars for the most part, which are battle scenes, you know, like the Duel of Naboo right behind it. And I don't know how that just rolled off of my my city, but cool. Glad that taxi, I believe it was, has now shattered into a million pieces. And the Duel of Mustafar as well. So these represent kind of my favorite of like a lot of the Star Wars line. Obviously the ships are cool, but I love when they do smaller duel scenes. I absolutely love it. And I'm surprised we didn't get something else this year for the actual battle between Darth Maul, Obi-Wan, and Qui-Gon Jinn. I really expected an upgraded version of this, and yes, ignore how dusty that is if you can see it. I was really surprised that they didn't do something with that. Now, the Sith Infiltrator did come out, so yes, we get a new Qui-Gon, we get a new Darth Maul. Still very cool, but I don't know. I was hoping for a new Duel of Naboo, because I just think that would be pretty cool, especially if you could buy multiple of them and kind of combine them. I think that'd be neat. Or Padme's, like, royal ship. I think that would have been really cool. A UCS for, like, a Trade Federation ship. I don't know. It's fine. Like, they did some cool sets for it, but I was just hoping for more, maybe throughout the year, but I really doubt it. As for this set, it did retire about a year ago now. It retailed for $20, has two minifigures and 147 pieces, so pretty straightforward. You can still get it third party, like eBay, Mercari, whatever, for like $30. So it definitely hasn't gone up too much. Yeah, that's a, a pretty good price increase for a year from 20 to 30, but not in the grand scheme of things. So definitely a pretty cool set, and one that I'm excited to actually bring to you guys today. I have two of these, and I lost one in the move. I was originally keeping this one sealed. However, Star Wars Day, you got to do what you got to do for it. So thank you guys so much for joining me for another build. Like, comment, and subscribe if you can. Definitely helps the channel a lot. Feel free to check out the rest of my builds, either with the city in the background that you can, of course, see, Star Wars, Harry Potter, whatever else you got going on. I've probably built something related to it. But yeah, thank you guys again so much for joining me. Now let's get started on the build, folks. Alright everybody, so here's the final build. I also grabbed a couple minifigures that I think are going to look really good with this set in the background. I do think, especially since it's a smaller one, it'll just be sitting on my desk with the Duel on Naboo, or I should say the Battle of Naboo and the Duel on Mustafar as well. Now, as for the set itself, yes, this is definitely a small one, but it is still a very cool one nonetheless. I did just watch this Clone Wars battle again while I finished this up, and in the background I had like all of the lightsaber duels from the first few movies on in the background as well. I definitely miss building a lot of Star Wars Legos, and I'm a little bit sad that I don't have a ton of room for them anymore, but I definitely do think if I see the Sith Infiltrator out today or tomorrow, I will be purchasing that, just because I've actually never had one, and my little wall over there could definitely use another Qui-Gon Jinn, since the only one I actually have is in the background here. So as for the set itself, yes, it is small and more of a play set, but we'll start with the minifigures. We do have Ashoka. I've never been the biggest Ashoka fan. She's a fun character, but she's by far and away not my favorite. That is, of course, Obi-Wan and, Darth Maul back there. However, the actual minifigure is great. She does have her two blue lightsabers for the duel itself, and then a very cool headpiece with a couple of different expressions. I guess the angry one would actually be better for displaying her. Great torso print, great back print, great face print. She could have used some arm print, however, but, we'll save that for the new Ahsoka sets. The headpiece is a little bit of a pain to actually put on, is what I'm currently discovering in my life here. There we go. Took me 18 tries, but we got there in the end. And then, for the main man, we got Darth Maul. Of course, it is only going to be a solo face print, since the back of his head is going to be pure black. A dual-wield lightsaber, the coolest thing ever. After I'm building this, I might actually be going to see The Phantom Menace in theaters. I was 2 years old when the first one came out, so I didn't get to go see that, of course, because I grew up in a household that wasn't really big Star Wars fans. The very first Star Wars movie I actually saw in theaters was Revenge of the Sith, so not a lot of context for me. However, it was at a drive-in theater in New York on a fishing trip. And seeing Darth Vader versus Obi-Wan in a drive-in theater, in a little RV, was probably the coolest thing ever. So I will always remember that very, very fondly. As to the minifigure, it does look a bit different than Episode 1. Episode 1 Darth Maul is going to be a little dusty here, but you can definitely see the differences. A much brighter face here, and his chest is a little exposed rather than having a full black tunic on the Episode 1 Darth Maul. I have to do a little closer look thing at the Duel of Naboo. I had that before the actual channel started, and definitely want to talk about that in the videos at some point. But some pretty basic tunic print overall. I just did want to point out the difference between his exposed chest here during I want to say calm Darth Maul, when he's becoming more of an anti-hero, and his entire theme, spoiler alert if you haven't seen this, basically Darth Maul is trying to convince Ahsoka that Anakin is the key to the end of their civilization and the end of the Force and all of that, and that Darth Sidious has been grooming him this whole time, so that he's trying to recruit her to stop her. I am also on the side that Darth Maul would have beaten Ahsoka if he was actually trying to kill her rather than recruit her. You of course have a little hiding spot for Darth Maul in here for that dramatic reveal, little door panel on the outside. Now, again, slight spoiler for this, he was actually not trying to lure Ahsoka here. He wanted Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader at that point, but Anakin to arrive so that he could actually join up with Obi-Wan and kill Anakin once and for all, which, I don't think he would have beaten Anakin, if we're being honest, but Darth Maul is the man nonetheless. This is a very cool sticker element. Yes, you have a little panel here, but you have some runic symbols up top, 3 Mandalorian helmets, and a bunch of little Mandalorians going down the side. So a very, very cool sticker element there. And last but not least, we do have the throne room. We have that translucent brick, and then, if you want, it is a playset after all. You can have Darth Maul kind of sitting on his little throne here that he took, of course, from Previously, much earlier on with the Darksaber and all of that good stuff. We have the throne of Mandalore, relatively basic. You can definitely repurpose this if you want to do something for the Mandalorian sets. Currently, you can obviously just redo some of the elements here and have it be more of New Mandalore. A couple little 2x1s with some Technic pieces in the background allow it to fall, but other than that, nothing too special. Just some riveted 1x2s on the side, giving some rock effects here. That beautiful sticker elements in the background, which with light would definitely look pretty cool. Sticker element here, but other than that, you got a couple little leaves for a decoration, and that is basically it. But yeah, so as for the 2 minifigures that I said would work out really well here, I will probably have, we could do this as part of the video, just trying to set things up to see how they would look. Darth Maul and Ahsoka, of course, going for the battle, but in the background, very expensive minifigure. I actually haven't looked at how Gar Saxon is doing. You know what? You know what we can do? We can pull up a little price guide for him quick. I am actually curious. And then a 332nd Ahsoka Trooper in the background, which is basically a repurposed 501st, of course. You can get him relatively cheap now. He was actually expensive for quite a bit, and I am just curious how much Gar Saxon is currently going for. The helmet is 20. Alright. So he's about 30 to 40 bucks for Gar Saxon still, so hanging in there, not too bad at all. He is from the Mandalorian Fighter, Mandalorian Starfighter Lego set as well. Did I build that on this channel? I might have. I don't know. I have a couple of them. Mainly for Gar Saxon. I did take him out of the Mandalorian little frame that actually is broken, which is why it's not on the wall currently as one of like the side projects. But I think that is how I'm going to display this. I might have this piece sitting off to the side. I'm not sure yet, just because it is kind of on a little island. But you will see this in the background of some videos in the future to go, joining the Obi-Wans and the Anakins, Qui-Gon, and another Darth Maul. So that means Darth Maul is now my most represented figure, along with Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I guess makes sense. But I figure these two minifigures do need some love as well. So thank you guys so much for joining me for another build. I'm very happy with how it looks, and I think it is going to be a cool little piece in the background. Happy May the 4th. Happy Star Wars Day. This is coming out, of course, May 5th. But I hope you had a cool weekend. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys bought anything new, got any cool new toys, went to go see a movie, did a binge, anything like that. Let me know in the comment section below. I hope you had a great weekend, guys. It's always a fun time. It's a very nerdy day, but it is, of course, a cool little relaxing period to watch some Star Wars. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Again, let me know in the comment section if you did anything fun. Like, comment, subscribe if you can. Check out all the other LEGO builds. I'll have links to the Star Wars playlist in the little description below. I forgot the word for description. Good. And I'll see you next time. Happy building, everybody.